Okay, guys. So today will be my first attempt at doing like a podcast or interview style video. Today I have Dara Mark, and the main topic of our conversation would be the state of code email. I met Dara in a mastermind, and we just kept in touch for years. So Dara is based in London. He has a VC background, and then he transitioned to a agency model. So hi, Dara.
Hi, Nico. Thank you very much for having me. Yeah, it's great to chat to you today.
What do you think of my introduction so far?
I love it. I love it. Yeah, yeah, we've known each other a while now. Every time I look back, if it seems that we've known each other for I think a few years now, because I think it was during lockdown when we first kind of met online.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, we've always kept in touch, always followed each other's agency career, and yeah, it's great to be kind of featuring on your channel now.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So I'm just gonna start with some questions about your background.
Sure, sure.
So could you tell me how you decided to end up building an agency?
Yeah, yeah. As well as long story short, I'd always kind of wanted to do something for myself, but I did the whole uni thing, did my business degree, did the masters, jumped straight into the corporate world. And then moved over, as you can tell by the from the accent and the pale skin. For anyone watching, I'm Irish, from Dublin, and then I moved over to London just over 6 years ago. Worked for some of the world's top VC funds over here, and some of the world's top private equity companies over here as well. And then about just before coronavirus in 2019, I decided, right, I'm going to take this seriously now and start my agency. Just because I wanted that freedom, the time freedom, the location freedom, and the financial freedom. And so, yeah, while I was contracting for certain private equity and venture capital firms in London. So I was making a lot of money. I'm not going to lie, and I had that freedom because I was contracting, but I still wanted to do the agency thing. And so then I just started, side by side, working 15-hour days. And got to the stage where I was able to then leave the office and just focus 100% on my own business, which, as you know, is just such a great feeling. And anyone who hasn't done that step yet, I recommend it. It's such a good feeling. And yeah, then from there I was but certainly over the lockdown as well, running Facebook, Instagram ads for e-commerce businesses, working
Mhm.
for a lot of businesses in the skincare, cosmetics, fashion niches, getting great results. And then, when TikTok came along, also bringing in TikTok, and then focusing on that wider, the kind of multi approach tactic of covering not just one specific service, but various different services as well, bringing in content creation. Because as we all know, in the e-commerce space, especially on TikTok and Instagram, it's all about UGC.
Mhm.
Um, and then, similar to yourself, you kind of, because you've been in this space for a few years, a lot of people, when you're posting your results, et cetera, amongst kind of community, as because of course we're in a number of different communities of agency owners, which is great because being agency owners, we're at home, we're working 12-hour days on our own. So it's great to have those communities, online communities of other agency owners. But
Mhm.
yeah, just from chatting with agency owners in there, posting my results, giving kind of my wisdom of 3-4 years of running an agency, I got a lot of agencies just ask me about how do you, like, get your clients, which for me was from cold outreach. And then just kind of I started just servicing some agency owners with cold email, and all of a sudden, and I still run my e-commerce, social media marketing agency, but I also now do cold outreach for agency owners, just
Okay.
because, yeah, it's something that I'm a bit more passionate about, because I know the struggle, I'll be an agency owner trying to get calls booked in. I do it for myself. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at the moment.
I see, I see. So basically, at the moment, you run your own e-commerce agency. You help e-commerce businesses get more clients through Facebook ads and Instagram, but you also branched out to help agencies get more clients using cold outreach.
Exactly,
Okay.
exactly. Yeah. So
In,
that's what we're focused on at the moment.
yeah, let me ask you, is there something, uh, why do you think agency owners should look into cold email outreach or
Mm,
cold outreach?
yeah. Um, so I suppose a bit about my journey of my outreach journey was I when I was transitioning, so when I was working full time, I didn't really have time to do much else but to message people on LinkedIn. So I focused a lot of LinkedIn outreach initially when I first started.
Mhm.
And looking back, I just wasted so much time. Like it took me 6 months to get, my first client. I might get one call a month. It was just disastrous. But I didn't know any better because I was a newbie. And
Yeah.
then when I had a bit more time, I do, the cold looms, which anyone out there, if you've tried cold looms, like I've recorded and sent over 2,000 cold looms in my time.
Mhm.
Um, and anyone who's done it, they know you just want to jump off a bridge right at your office window,
Yeah.
after doing a week of them. And for anyone who hasn't done them and who might not know about them, it's just you'll basically do a 5-minute video audit just like this. Go onto the person's website or social media, just give them proper valuable advice. And that worked a bit better than the LinkedIn outreach, but it was just so time heavy on me. And still, because you're only like I was sending out 200 looms a month,
Mhm.
and again, I might get maybe 4 calls a month, so that's at 1 in 50,
Mhm.
and it just wasn't scalable. And then I started doing cold outreach, and all of a sudden, I mean, December alone, I was getting 6 calls every single day. And
Mhm.
I've got the screenshots. I shared them with other agencies. I can share them with you later. If- Um, and I actually had to turn off my cold email campaigns and just block out my calendar because I couldn't have more than 6,
Yeah.
which is crazy because more kind of more money, more problems. It's kind of like wow, it's yeah, you go from one problem of not getting enough calls to one problem getting too many calls.
Yeah.
Um, but it's great because the more calls you get, just the more confidence I had, the more natural I could be on the sales calls, and I could actually pick and choose and actually turn down prospective clients, which is, as you know, is great.
Yeah. So I remember the times when you were doing like the loans
Hmm.
and you're like, I need to send, I don't know how many, I think it was like 5 to 10 loans per day.
Yeah,
And for me, it was like, oh my God, I don't want to do it.
yeah,
And everybody in the let's say agency world was hyping up looms, how you
yeah,
should set looms. But that's also my observation. Um, I don't think like looms are the best way to code outreach. And for me personally, I also don't like LinkedIn because uh, if somebody is like very busy, they won't be on LinkedIn. I know that many people who are getting customers of LinkedIn, but if you want to get like a good quality lead, they won't be on LinkedIn. But I agree with you that like, you know, the good leads, they're all on cold email.
yeah, exactly. Like again, the cold loom, like sending out 200 a month just isn't enough, and 200 a month is doing 10 a day
Yeah.
every single like 5 days a week.
Yeah.
And it's just it's a painful existence. We didn't become entrepreneurs to do that.
Yeah.
And then with the LinkedIn outreach, and I take it like I had an amazing and still do an amazing LinkedIn profile because I've got my degrees, my masters from good
Yeah.
universities. I've been in the corporate world for 10 years, so I've got like a really solid LinkedIn profile. Whereas a lot of agency owners, they
Yeah.
don't. So if LinkedIn didn't work for me, it's definitely like everyone. I think a lot of people are wasting their time on it, and um, I mean, LinkedIn is, don't get me wrong, LinkedIn is great for some for we for some B2B businesses,
Mhm.
in terms of SaaS businesses, running ads on LinkedIn is great.
Yeah.
But in terms of an agency owner messaging, an e-commerce owner, or posting some content on your page and hoping somehow an e-commerce business owner will be attracted to it. It's just, it's something to to add into your arsenal, maybe when you've got a large, when you're making over 30K a month or something, maybe if you want to build that kind of inbound aspect. But cold email, it's just
Oh,
a game changer. Just from like, if you go right now from not getting that many calls a month, if you run
mhm.
cold email
Yeah.
within the month, you're getting 5 calls booked in every single day.
Okay,
So
so why do you think cold email is a much better outreach method compared to LinkedIn and loans?
yeah, it's so passive. Once you set, and that's the thing again, once you set it up, it's set up. You can manage it, but um, you can specifically target it to the type of company you want. And I'll just, for the clients that we do cold email for,
Hmm.
we jump on a call like this. We pick their brain. We find out who exactly do you want to target. We'll ask them some kind of triggering questions to really get into that subconscious aspect of like, who do you actually want to work with? But not only who do you want to work with, who can you work best with? Who do you have great case studies for? What type of clients? What type of locations? Etc. Etc.
Hmm.
So you can get extremely granular, and then, for example, if you reach out, if we email 1,000 a month, right? So again, 1,000 a month compared to sending 200 cold looms, and 200 cold looms a month, that's a lot of work. Sending out 1,000 cold emails isn't that much work compared to it. But that's, you're already sending out to 5 more times the amount of people.
Hmm. I
So then,
see.
yeah, it's an aspect of quality and quantity.
Hmm.
And then with the cold email, a lot of people are doing it, but a lot of people are doing it so badly that, if like, a lot of is in the e-commerce, a lot of sub niches in the e-commerce space are highly saturated. So yes, e-commerce owners are getting 10 to 20 cold emails every single day,
Hmm.
but most of them are just awful. So if your one comes in and it's just good, they're gonna go with you. It's kind of an analogy of, someone at a bar, a
Hmm.
girl at a bar or whatever. Yeah, there's a lot of guys hitting on her, but if their game is just so bad, and if someone comes in with just basic level, good game, yeah,
Yeah.
he's gonna be the one dating her.
Okay, so what do you think is the main difference between a good cold email and a bad cold email?
Yeah, so there's so many levels to that, really. I suppose, in no particular order.
Hmm.
First off, we have to. Okay, first thing comes to my mind is your actual domain name. Sometimes domain names, they can flag the spam filter. Okay, so we got to make sure our domain name isn't anything spammy. And also, if someone just, before they even click on the email, because they'll see who it's from, if they can tell it's your marketer or a sales guy, they don't want to know. So we got to, change that up straight away. Then with the subject line. So this is even before anyone reads the email. Make sure your domain is solid. Make sure your name is solid. And then your subject line. Subject lines got to be personalized. Keep them short. Keep them personalized. But do not go clickbaity either. Because if I send an email to you, for example, and I personalize it with Nico, and then Nico, quick, or urgent request, or
Hmm.
there's a big issue I noticed with your website, and then you're like, okay, I need to click on the email. So yeah, you're going to get high open rates. But then if I go into a spiel about how I want to pitch my service to you, you're going to be extremely annoyed because I got your heart racing. You thought there was something wrong with your website or something, or so you're going to flag me as spam. So
Mhm.
don't be clickbaity with the subject line. Be personalized, be upfront.
Mhm.
Then with the emails themselves, follow up is essential. So depending on who you're reaching out to, I usually do 4 emails, email one, and they're all in the same threads as well.
Mhm.
4 emails. Again, keep them very personalized. You can personalize based so many aspects. Add some humor in it as well. Be in, aspects of informality as well as formality. And I mean, just stay away from Chat GPT. I mean, I love it. We all love playing around with Chat GPT. Don't get me wrong, and it's amazing. And yes, it may take over the world in like a year or so. Who knows? But right now, like I've typed in cold email. I've gone real deep on Chat GPT around writing cold email, asking it, okay, improve this, make this shorter, make this funnier, make this more personalized, etc., etc. And it's still not there. It's
Mhm.
it's there. I mean, for want of a better word, it's still a bit lame.
Mhm.
It's Yeah, it's still not there. And actually, to be honest, everyone's going to be using ChatGPT for email. So again, it's going to be the same email script that people are getting.
Mhm.
So, and that would lead me on to the other thing. I mean, everyone who's in the agency space is probably a part of a course, or they're paid for it or not, and they're probably using the exact same email script that
Mhm.
thousands of people are using. So do be unique. Learn how to write an email script, but don't actually copy anyone's email script. Be
Mhm.
unique.
I see that a lot in the marketplace. People are just like copying people,
Hmm.
but many people don't understand the concept behind what are they copying and why it works.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like
Exactly.
copy and paste. It's
E-
like, yeah.
Exactly. And sometimes they'll copy and paste, and they'll leave out certain words that are, trigger words that are used purposefully in emails.
Mhm.
Or they'll change a certain word. And a lot of times in an email, there might be, a paragraph where I'm specifically just writing this paragraph to put in these 3 specific trigger words that separate us from the other 10 to 20 agencies that are reaching out to you every day, showing you how we're specific to your need, how we know what your problem is, how we're going to solve it, and how we can do that, and how we're different to everyone else because we, are showing our case studies, showing that we've got expertise, showing that we've, like, I've spoken to hundreds of e-commerce business owners at this stage. So yeah, I know what they need, often when, even if they don't.
Okay, I see. So if I'm completely new to code email, I run a agency. How should I start?
Okay, so start off by, we've
What?
got certain platforms. We've got Maily, we've got Instantly, we've got Lemlist. Choose one of them. They've all got their pros and cons. And currently, as of recording this video, I'm using Instantly. That's not to say I might change if a better platform comes along.
Mhm.
So first off, get that. Second off, we wanna choose.
And what is it instantly? Could you tell people who are watching this what is instantly, what it does?
Sure, sure.
Yeah.
So instantly, just it is the software that will send the emails on your behalf.
Mhm.
If anyone's used Lemlist or Mailchimp, for example. Now, of course, it's completely different to Mailchimp because it's one-on-one email. It's not email campaigns. But
Mhm.
basically, um, instantly you can add your domains to it, and you can split up your domains. You can warm up your emails in instantly, and then it's got your WYSIWYG or your HTML. Pop in your email content, and then you can set it up to warm up your emails for the first 14 days. Do not send any real emails for the first 14 days. Once those 14 days are up, keep your warm up on, but then you can start sending your actual emails. Do 4 emails in the follow-up thread. Separate them by 2 to 3 days each.
Mhm.
Send them within real office hours. and also spam check for the language, check for grammar, check for spelling, double, triple, quadruple check all of this stuff. Keep it personalized. Make sure you don't have any trigger spam words in it, anywhere in the email, in the subject line, the copy, or your domain name. Um, and test. I usually test on batches of 300 leads.
Mhm.
No more, no less. Then we know what we're aiming for. If we're getting a one in 300 is kind of okay, it needs work, but it's not the worst email I've seen. 1 in 200 is decent, still needs more work, but we've kind of got the skeleton right. So we just need to nail down what's working and not. 1 in 100, now this is calls booked from emails.
Mhm.
That's a very good benchmark, especially in e-commerce niche, just because it's so saturated. 1 in 50 then is really okay. We're on the ball here. Let's manage this. Let's keep an eye on it. We can tweak it every few days, but at that stage, you'll just be tweaking certain keywords and whatnot. And that's really what we're aiming for. One call in 50 sent out. And really, I would, as I said, start off testing 300 and really go from there.
Okay, I see. And could you talk a little bit about personalization?
Sure. So yeah, personalization extremely important. Um, Obviously, get
How
their
do you
name.
how do you use the tool you just mentioned to personalize the emails? Are they gonna be like personalized because you're using the tool, or how does it work?
So first off, personalization, that comes from your lead scraping. So again, for our clients, we scrape all the leads for them. Um, First name, surname, company name, location, industry, niche,
Mhm.
and also we'll add their LinkedIn as well.
Mhm.
So then we can add in just the merge tags into the email on those aspects alone, and then we can go more personalized around kind of okay, let's look into the company on their LinkedIn, see what they've been posting about, if they've won any awards recently, if they've rebranded recently, if they've donated to charity, etc., etc. We can also add that personalization as well. It really depends. It is the balance between you know quality and quantity.
Mhm.
Not say like you can send 10,000 emails a month. Just you're not going to lack on quality, but okay. It's a toss up between how personalized do we want to go. But we go extremely personalized on all the emails, and it does work. It
Mhm.
shows that you've done your research. It shows that yes, you want to actually work with this type of person, and that because you've worked with other people similar to them.
Okay, and you mentioned lead sourcing.
Yeah.
What do you think is the best way to source leads?
Yeah, there's so many different ways, but we do it manually. And we, never recycle lists. So never buy a list from someone or whatnot. Um, so we will go on to again, we'll pick someone's brain and then we'll go from there. A lot of times we'll use the social media platforms to find the exact contact of, for example, head of marketing, marketing director, and or business owner of an e-commerce business. It's always depending on the size of the business.
Mhm.
If it's extremely large, like multi $1 million brand, usually it's going to be head of marketing or whatnot. If it's a smaller brand making, few hundred K a month, we're going to go business owner, maybe business owner and marketing director. But we're going to find them on LinkedIn. We're going to get all their personalization contact from LinkedIn and then pull it from there as well. And we might, if we can't find them on LinkedIn, we'll go on the other social media platforms as well. Because as you know, for example, the e-commerce businesses, they're posting on LinkedIn, or they're posting on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. So we aggregate all the information from there, and
Mhm.
then we put it through a software just to clean the data, make sure it's correct, and then we go from there.
Mhm. And let's say if I'm just starting out,
Hmm.
how many cold emails per month or per day would you recommend I start sending?
Yeah, exactly. So again, we work with 1,000 a month starting off. because
Hmm.
you don't want to go any more than that because we're testing, and we're testing in bunches of just over 300.
Hmm.
So if you're starting off, start off with 300, then 300 and 300. Really 1,000 a month, and 1,000 a month, like that's what I was sending, in December, and that's I was getting me 5 to 6. I was getting 5 to 6 calls booked every single day. So 1,000 is a lot, but you don't want to burn through your leads. You want to take it slow, meticulous, because there's a lot to test with emails, and you want to make sure you're just getting everything right. So slow and steady. That you're going to win the race with cold email on that.
Hmm. I see. I see. So you said that like you're booking one call per 50 emails sent. Do I get this right?
Yeah, yeah.
So if we could work the numbers, if I send 300 per month, that means I'm gonna get on 5 to 6 calls.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. So I just wanted to make it easier for everybody who is listening to this
Mm,
to understand what results are
yeah.
realistic.
Yeah,
Because
exactly. And that's the realistic figures. Um, I mean, we've been getting even better results than that. But 1 in 50 is a solid benchmark. It's a realistic benchmark, and if anyone here is listening to me that is an agency owner speaking to e-commerce businesses, they know the realistic benchmarks. If they look
yeah,
at a business and they talk to them and they say a 2x, is a realistic return on ad spend. So I'm
yeah,
not giving any crazy
yeah.
results here. I'm trying to manage expectations.
I see. Because when I started with cold email, I was getting around those numbers.
Mm,
And whenever somebody told me that they can do like much better than that, I would always question it
mm,
because my emails were very personalized.
yeah,
And I think my offer was great. Like, so I think that's like very realistic because whenever I go on like YouTube or Facebook, I
mm,
see different types of promises. And I think if somebody says that he's gonna send 300 emails and book like 50 calls, that's unrealistic. So I
yeah,
think it's very good to have the expectations set in this call because people like agency owners, they just like might have the wrong expectation. So I think that's great.
exactly. And these, as you said, the guys who are talking about, I can get you a call in every 10 emails I send or whatever,
Yeah,
or even better, crazier results. That's usually because they're just shouting out about a guarantee. You
yeah,
don't spend any money with us, we'll pay you back if you don't get results within, a month or whatever.
yeah.
And I actually will a lot of times tell my agency owners not to offer a guarantee, because a lot of times people just can't actually, they can't afford it. Just the way the industry is at the moment, especially with the whole tracking issues.
Yeah.
So yeah, like an easy way to get a lot of calls booked in is to just send an email saying, "Hi, Nico, I'm going to run your ads for you, and guess what? If we don't get you any results, you don't pay us, and I'm going to give you 100 quid for wasting your time." That's going to get your call booked in. You might get a client, but one, they're going to have no respect for you. I've seen it so many times. I've been on calls like this where if you're reaching out to someone and they're just getting on the call because you're basically giving them free service, they've got no respect for you. They're going to treat you like trash, and then you won't be able to get results for them because they're going to be cheap. They're going to be cheap on their creatives. They're going to be cheap on their ad spend, and they're going to be cheap on their offer and their website.
Mhm.
They're just knocking their heart's not in it. You won't be able to get them results because of these aspects, and then you'll have worked for free. You've wasted everyone's time. So yeah, it's not a route I would suggest.
Mhm. I see. So to just like summarize it,
Mm.
you suggest everybody who is just starting out with cold email to start sending at least 300 emails per month. Be
At least.
personalized. If they want to automate the process, they can take a look at they can look at tools such as Instantly, and they just need to figure it out from there.
Exactly. I would recommend send at least 1,000 a month, because
Okay.
but just test in bundles of 300.
Mhm.
And yeah, use at right now I'm using Instantly, but as I said, that could change just because there's so many cold email service softwares out there. I've
Yeah.
actually spoken to two owners of these different softwares, but Instantly at the moment is what I'm using. Send 1,000 cold emails, test in bundles of just over 300. And yeah, if anyone's got any questions about it, just reach out to me. I'll definitely help people. Just give them advice or whatnot.
Okay, I see. And so you mentioned for people to do the lead sourcing manually.
Mm.
Is there a reason for them to do it manually, or just like some, or just use some of those tools like Apollo.io or whatever?
Yeah, so the lead sourcing, again, just for our clients, we source the leads for them. Doing it manually, you're going to get the right person. So there's no time wasting, and there's no email bounces or spam filters, which can really ruin your email reputation. Um, and getting them from these lists from Apollo, etc., it can oftentimes be the exact same email owner or own business owners that have been reached out to.
Mhm.
So yeah, again, it all depends. It's that toss up between the quality and quantity, and you want to keep the quality high and sending out high quantity. So, and I mean, yeah, it all depends. I would just recommend put the work in. If you're not willing to put the work in, sure, pay someone to do it for you. But if you're not willing to pay someone to do it for you, you know, just do the work, put the work in.
Mhm. So as far as I understand, you also offer a complete done for you service for agency owners who want to do cold email.
Exactly. So we'll do everything. We'll add your domains to Instantly. We'll warm up all your domains. And don't get me wrong, in Instantly and all these different email service providers, the settings is like straight away. If you're a newbie and you're jumping in, you're just so confused. You're like, well, how many warm up emails do I send, and how many blah blah blah, like how many emails do I send? What is the setup like? And that alone can get you put into the spam filter before even sending the emails. So then your chances are ruined. You'll have to buy a new domain. You've wasted hundreds of dollars just without even sending an email because the settings have screwed you up. So we'll dial in the settings, and we're up to date on a daily basis on what's working and what's not with our current clients. We'll write the ad copy, we'll insert the personalizations, we'll send all the follow-ups. We generate all the leads. We never recycle lists. We get them bespoke to the business owner that we're speaking with.
Mhm.
And basically we set up the Calendly. So then all you have to do as a business owner is just sit back, and we'll just fill up your calendar with calls, and then you have to take the calls. And then from the calls, just give us feedback, on, okay, actually I want to work with businesses that are making more money or less money or X, Y, and Z, and we go from there.
Mhm.
And yeah, we test, we A/B test. And we said, like, starting off, we'll just send 1,000 emails a month just to get the ball rolling. And again, because it's all about A/B testing.
Mhm. Okay, and so if somebody wants to get started with your cold email done for you service, what are how do they find you?
Sure. So find me on YouTube. I'm sure link in the description or whatnot.
Yeah.
YouTube's a great way to find me. Instagram, but YouTube really just Dara Mac Ragnell. Um, Find me there. Reach out to me there.
Mhm. Okay, so I don't have any more questions. I think we touched on some very important topics such
Mm,
as chat GDP and how people should get started with cold email.
yeah.
How many cold emails should they send? What results should they expect? So I think that was pretty good. So for anybody listening, make sure you check out Dara on YouTube and Instagram. And that was the first podcast for today.
Excellent. It was great talking to Nico. And yeah, hope to speak to you again very soon.